Buddy.
Yay.
I think we're back in business. All right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bet you're hearing us now. Hi. You missed all this brilliant stuff. We were so funny and
The
witty.
banter was amazing.
We were, Peeps love those electronics, says Lisa. Yes. No.
She's good.
We are not going to blame. This was
that does
Let
happen.
us not blame the
That
Peeps. Today you can blame me. I had the wrong setting. I had a prior show setting. Anyway, audio and all, welcome to the show. Peep Connection is a show, and I will repeat myself. I apologize for last week for not being on the air. Occasionally, library business will come up, but hopefully most of the time we'll be here. So that's the goal. And Brenda's here. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Lisa. And thank you for the audio thing, by the way. I love how you guys are keeping me honest and making sure that I...
They do. They really do.
Where are you? I appreciate that, actually, because we have a lot of, as Brenda will attest to, a lot of wires and cords and buttons and flashing things in here, and the opportunity to mess everything up is so ripe for the taking. So, Brenda, what's been going on in your world?
I have been planning some stuff coming up for fall.
Mm-hmm.
I hired a virtual assistant. Yes. I don't know why we haven't done this before, so I hired one. So as soon as I get stuff to her, she'll be able to take care of it. That's the only problem, is to get the stuff to her.
Yes.
So we do have regularly, we always have a regular open house anniversary party. I am so grateful for everyone that comes to all the readings, that buys my art, that now comes on the radio. So I want to have a party, and I have a party every year at my opening of my business full time, not with any other side businesses. November, I think it's the first Saturday in November, and I can't if it's 4th or 2nd. Yeah. So planning that anniversary party is always Art in the Barn's coming up on September 23rd and 24th, which is Saturday and Sunday, and that's all day long, and it's in Jackson, and you got to come to this show, you guys. It's so cool. So I have a tent on the outside, but they do have artists in the barn, but she's got music there all day. She's got food. She does something new every year. And it's just a really great feeling of a art fair. It's not so loud and crazy that you can't just enjoy yourself, but we've had it's been beautiful. A lot of big people buying art, which is awesome. So those two things are coming up. That's what I've been planning.
That's nice. Cool. Very nice. Well, as usual, everybody, if you have anything you'd like to talk to Brenda about, feel free to drop it in the comments wherever you're watching us, be it Facebook, be it YouTube, be it... I think I do have a Twitter link up there, or X. I guess it's X now. I don't know. I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it Twitter.
I think it's sinking slowly, right? Or fast.
I know, right? I'm not sure why I post on Twitter. I guess it's just force of habit. But
yeah, when he took off the things about blocking people that are being mean or awful, attacking or it's there's no reason for that to happen. So
yeah, he's into it.
Well,
who knows?
And kids are on there too. So you just don't do that. No. There's no reason for that.
Be nice, everybody.
Be nice.
The peeps appreciate that. I'll bet too. They probably
be nice. They're they play jokes just like everyone else does, but it's not bad jokes.
I wouldn't think terribly mean spirited,
No, like turning off and on lights. That's that's what peeps do, or things like that. It's giving you crap if you're doing the wrong way. They'll do that as well. But I was just telling Jeff beforehand that I had a client come in this week that is really missing his wife, and he's mourning his wife. And I, as you know, always tell them to look for signs. Let's look for signs. So we're sitting in my sunroom, which faces out where the bird feeders are and the backyard is. And I have a lot of flowers out there, hummingbirds. And he said, he's not getting signs. I'm like, since I can feel what you guys feel when I do a reading, I know she's there, and I know she is connected with him. And I know she's tapping him on the shoulder and tapping the leg and been there. He's just not feeling it yet, not open to it yet. So we did do some Reiki and did that. But as we're having a conversation, I said, so have you seen anything out of normal that is more than normally that you would see? And he goes, God, there's been a lot of cardinals. I'm like, funny, cardinals, huh? You mean the bright red things that you notice right away out of the corner of your eye if someone's trying to get your attention, cardinals? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, what do you think that would mean? He's like, I'm like, so could you take that as a sign from her? Yeah, I guess I could do that. Why don't you call for a cardinal now and tell her, since she's here, that you want to see a cardinal and that you know it's from her? So he did, and the cardinal appeared on the bird feeder. And he's like, there's a cardinal there. I'm like, you just called for her. And she's going to give you signs all the time that she's there with you. So we continued on talking about some other stuff. And then 10 minutes later, I said, call again. Call again. Call her again. I need to see you now. I want to make sure I'm seeing this right. So he called again, said, I want to see you. And the cardinal popped back on the bird feeder. So he's like, I said, okay, so 2 times you called and she came. Now do you believe she's with you? Yeah.
Sounds like a member of my little club, the Skeptics Club. Another one to be ousted.
He knows he's just like everyone else. It's like, and especially when we have like a reading, we'll feel more energy at a reading. We'll feel more because I'm going to tune into your energy. I'm going to help you with boosts. They're going to be with us in the room too. So you don't need me. I'm always trying to say that you don't need me. Once I teach you how to get into your intuitive self and develop your skill of intuitive self, then you can communicate on your own. So I am here to do my job to get myself out of a job. But it always has been. It's like sense. Because I have always said that we all have the same skills, that you can do what I can do. I started a little bit earlier and I've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
So as I've increased my readings and increased my reading of knowledge, being with people that talk about intuitive stuff, and then every reading, my skill improves or increases.
Which I guess begs the question, which I suppose I'm not the only one who has this in mind. How can you describe, possibly, and you've written a book, so I know you could.
Maybe.
How this comes to you? How what is it, a vision? Is it just in the mind's eye? What would this good descriptor be for this, if there are any? Because I know it's a next level type of stuff.
It comes in all different ways. A lot of times when I first was not paying attention, it'd have to catch my attention, right? So my father, who passed in 92, would give me a little shove on my shoulder. So I would be knocked. I'm like, what? Okay, fine. Knowing I wasn't, being my own spiritual self, and trying to get your attention, like we said, like the cardinals, the lights going off and on, of things like that you'd see just to get your attention.
Yeah.
But when I'm centering in for someone of getting their sign, I do see a picture in my head. So it's mostly pictures. It's not usually words. Sometimes words come up, but not very often. The thank you, the gratefulness, the proud come out loud and clear. But I see them. So I can describe them. If people are not getting it, I'll use that mailman thing. I told you about the mailman before, that when I was describing to someone about her father, who was a mailman, he's coming out really buff, and he was right in his uniform and stuff. And I saw it's clearly, and he kept sitting here posing, so he's sitting here doing this to me. I'm like, okay, he's really proud of his body. So that's what he's doing to me. And this is not resonating with his daughter at all. So I kept going over and over. And then after a while, if they don't get it or validate it, I have to move on to something else.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, she goes, oh, that's my dad.
Oh, interesting.
Like, yes, it is.
Interesting.
Anyone who's on my Facebook page, go to the Cedarburg Public Library. It's the same link, and it's on my page, because we're not seeing the talking. Last week we all talked on my Facebook page, and my Facebook is not showing any comments here, so I can't really and I don't want to miss any comments, because we had about 25 comments last time.
Interesting. And I wonder if they were, again, I wonder if it was during or after the fact.
No, it was during, because I was on the line with them, and I would answer the calls.
Okay.
So it's just like, it's not coming up, and I have my Facebook right here too.
Yeah.
But we're connected here, so it should show it.
Yeah.
So just for right now, the ones that are coming through look like they're on the YouTube account.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that link on? When we first opened up, there was that link to do that.
Yeah, certainly.
If you guys want a link so we can get all those questions, because we did have a lot of questions, a lot of new people coming on.
Yeah. I definitely want to get to those, and I don't.
I think we had 90 comments last week. So
oh my god!
Yeah. So
whoa!
We're really
it's working.
It's working,
but it's not working during when we're on here.
And I don't see me on my Facebook page either.
This sounds like actually more of a Facebook issue, unfortunately. I know Facebook is very persnickety about this kind of stuff, so definitely check out the YouTube page, because I know we're coming in live over there, and certainly on the CPL Radio Facebook page I should have So yeah. But anyway, to that end, if you do have any comments or questions for Brenda, just fire them on in, and we will definitely try to discuss them here.
They can see me on Facebook, because I can't see on Facebook. I don't see. I'm not showing
interesting.
Live.
Okay, so yeah, something on the.
We're
Facebook.
still working out kinks.
We'll get there.
So if you guys do see me,
season 2 is going to be stellar.
But if you do see it on Facebook, please come over to the other channel to post something so that we know you're there. We can see it afterwards, but I have my computer right here, and it's not showing that it's even showing on Facebook. So
I'm seeing something new from Lisa here. If you can see it on the do you see anything I should be concerned about Brian's health, is what Lisa asked.
Same thing as before we talked about. Also, I'm still getting that's the stomach issues, the anxiety and the stomach issues of digesting. But it says that's where I'm not getting anything different from that. I think it was 3 months ago we talked about it, right? 3-4 months ago, but not anything different or not anything more. He's just got to take, when he wants to, he should go to the doctor to take care of it, because it is as simple as, medication. And then change eating habits a little bit. So that's all it is. Well, you guys get me then. If all the other people, I wonder where they are.
Yeah.
And the Ethernets.
Yep. There's Marcia. Marcia Sadowski's here. And said it was great meeting you on Saturday.
Hi, Marcia. You too. Marcia came to one of my classes. We had an intuitive class on Saturday, and we had 4 people. That was just great. It was actually perfect. I have a limit of 8 because I want everyone to get something from it, but it's I really like the 4s because it's just really, we can talk a lot, and we did talk a lot. We also had some Reiki. It was Reiki energy. We're having classes the first Saturday of the month. Next month it's boundaries, which we all should come to, because it's just really hard to, when you're working on your energy and your energy is all full and you come out and then people are taking it and you're not used to protecting it. It's you can give people energy, you can give them your empathy, but it's you keep your own energy for yourself. The folks that are givers, the folks that attract people because you have good energy and high energy, especially when you're working on your intuitive energy, you're going to be like a target and they're going to come because they can't generate their own energy. They're going to take yours. And you gladly, here you go. I can take care of you. I can give this all to you. And then you wonder why you're drained at the end of the day. And that's what it is. So this is what boundaries is just a good way to work on. You also will feel when people are coming in and hey, they're trying to take my energy. It's no, thank you. That's not for you to have right now. And that's really all you have to say once we learn how to do it. We did touch on that last Saturday as well. Marcia, what are you on? Are you on YouTube?
Looks like she's on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
so YouTube's
that little,
working.
Red triangle. Yeah, I just actually headed over to your Facebook page and it's not there, and I don't know why.
Because I'm not even coming on this
because we're getting a green check mark saying that it's there. So we're gonna have to work on that a little bit there. But I know for a fact it's coming through on the Cedarburg Library Facebook page and the CPL Radio.
So then people I'm talking to on my Facebook page aren't even hearing me anyhow. All right.
It's very strange.
Because I don't see them on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll have to work on that.
And I'm not getting messages from anyone either. And usually get messages.
Yeah, Marcia says she's watching us on YouTube. So
okay. Well, YouTube, we'll try to switch people. And we do give that link, right? YouTube all the time?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So.
All right.
Typical Facebook. This is not unusual. I've had this problem before. Your Facebook gets very touchy about third-party software using their platforms. And so, yeah. I will work on that. But interesting. So. Beyond that, question for you, I guess, Brenda, what, going forward, did you have any ideas of doing a follow-up book or anything like that? Is that something that's in the works?
So my publisher says we all have a book inside of us and it just has to come out. And mine was about introducing people to intuition, of giving them all of the ways that I have delivered it and people have gotten messages. So that's what I had to deliver, was to get the opening of intuitive. But something that really, there's a couple things, but there's one that really gets me. And I've been talking to a lot of moms who have children who are empaths. So children who feel other people's energy, which is a lot of them. Especially especially as anyone's on the spectrum. Well, I think we're all on the spectrum at one time. So, anyone on the spectrum too, it's like you feel a lot. And how is, like we just talked about boundaries, right? How do we tell a 9-year-old about boundaries, and how do we make sure and do that? So I really think that I'm going to do some case studies on that. I have 2 moms of, there happen to be 2 sons that have been asking me for help for a long time. So in treatment, or in what we can do for them, that we can do as moms, and we can do as people around them, that we can know that this can help them, is like, click on your force field, and you click on your force field, just like an energy field is like, you can take someone's energy if you want to, but you don't have to. So I give them that permission, especially like, get a 9-year-old boy who's starting to have hormones, and everyone else has have hormones around him. And how do they deal with this? How do they deal with this onslaught of negative energy? They can feel it. We can feel it. We can feel when we walk in a room, when we start tuning into it, our intuition will tell us when we walk into a room. Marcia just knows from the class on Saturday that we were doing the human pendulum thing, which is what I always talk about, is that when we are to do something, we lean into it, right? We're just going to lean into it. If we're not to do something, we lean out. We actually have that as a function in our energy. We can, if we know we're supposed to lean in, we can do that. And that's another thing of just directing, and like, should I talk to this person? You could be your own pendulum and know for sure what to do. So I think that's what I want to do. I also want to help people go further with their intuitive, but the children, it's really upsetting me. And I don't think there's any resources for that.
Yeah.
So because I'm in this situation, I've been doing this for a year, and it's been happening with more and more mothers asking me that this might be a good thing to do. And if I just we just have energy work with the kids for 6 months and see what happens. And that would develop a case study. And that could be some guidelines for how you do help an empath child, how you do help someone with intuitive, because more and more people are going to have this.
Yeah.
We're going to open up more and more and more of our brain and our energy as we go forward.
Yeah. As a father of at least 3 on the spectrum, it is interesting how it's not the same for everything is different. There's no set path and so it's
and there's no set way of dealing with it either. But we just have to realize what would be the best approach for it.
Yeah, which I think the medical community is also trying to, and has not always gotten it right, unfortunately.
But this works in tandem with medical community, just like Reiki energy does for. So like I've done a couple people with chemotherapy. So when they're going through the chemotherapy, the doctors, if they're with it, doctors say have allergies with it. So reflexology or massage or something, that your body and your spirit is being soothed too. You're putting poison in your body, right? To fix it. Exactly. But your body has to accept that. So it's like when I do Reiki, I've done it after like they have their chemotherapy and the beta blockers block everything for like 3, they don't feel anything for 3 days. And then that 3rd day, that afternoon, they're going to get it. So I do my Reiki then.
Okay.
And so that their body is accepting for what's going to happen, right? It's going to be assaulting your body, but it's also going to go and target the cancer cells. So your mind, body, spirit have to work together. And this just helps them with mind, body, spirit.
Have you seen like great success in that regard?
I have, and I can tell you that I don't like chemotherapy, because I see and feel and hear what they do. So with chemotherapy, I got to taste it. I got to feel it. Yeah. So of what they do, but they did both come out of that series of chemotherapy. Both did succumb to cancer later.
Sure.
In other, like one was a year and one was like 5 years later.
Yeah.
But and knowing that I could help them for that little while, that was very fulfilling for me. They're both really good friends of mine.
Less suffering is always ideal.
Right.
So
right.
Certainly, Cindy popped in, said anything from my mom and dad.
Cindy and I went to high school together, and we were naughty.
That's a whole separate show.
There's someone in Cindy's family that bought us beer sometimes. No, actually, it was Boone's Farm wine.
Ooh.
So your father is kind of giving us shit for that. Since I'm here and I was experiencing that with you. So that's what he's, yes. So that's funny. So we're getting outed for our 16-year-old selves.
So you guys are getting in trouble here on this show, right here on our live broadcast. I have two ladies, Cindy and Brenda. So in trouble.
Thanks to your dad. Oh, wow, we just went out.
No, you're okay. We're still on.
Okay, thanks to your dad for that I got to say that. At 16, we were drinking Boone's Farm, Boone's Farm wine.
Cindy says, damn.
Right? So that's the first year your dad popped in and said that right. Because, yeah. All right.
So I should ground you two at this point. You two need to basically be sent to your room, as far as I can tell. Oh my!
Wow. No, I'm okay with you guys being outed, but I'm not supposed to be outed. That's not. But it's too funny that he could do that with both of us, right?
So
that was a small portion of his life. Yeah, I know.
It did get grounded. Good. Good.
Oh, I got grounded for life twice. So,
for life?
Yeah.
So you're still serving out your time.
I probably should be.
You probably should be. Oh my. Nice to know the peeps are still parenting.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, Cindy. Seriously. Okay, let me see if I get anything else besides the outing. Wow. And how I got that was in the car, and I think it was a station wagon. It was a station wagon, and in the car, and then bringing out the bottles of wine so I could see. And we were on the bluff. I mean, that's where I was. That's the sign. That's the scene that he gave me, and he gave that to me because he knows that that your family member did that. So yeah. Hi, how you doing? Okay, Dad.
Boone's Farm wine.
Boone's Farm apple. That was, yeah.
It's okay.
99 cents.
You were shopping for
99 cents.
Ooh, you don't want that on day 2, though. I think the next morning with wood paneling, says Cindy.
Perfect. Perfect. You know how we've talked before, how they come in and help with kids that are having a problem. Sure. So she has 500 grandkids.
The more the merrier.
I'm a little exaggerating a little bit, but we're going with a little grandson, 5-year-old, 6-year-old having some issues. I think it feels like just settling back down to school and stuff, where it just like he's not having he's like a lot of energy and settling down for that is what it feels like. So I think he's helping with that. Does that make sense to you? You have a grandson about 5 to 6 who is hyper, to say the least, but to get him settled and get him calmed down so he can, go to school. And Dad's helping with that. Is that making sense to you, Cindy? Okay. That's what I'm seeing.
It's a tough time of year for everybody.
Yeah, especially after summertime, right?
Yeah. Grandson number 5, she says, hard time.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Grandson 5, it says so.
I know there's a
it's either number 5 or
all right.
5
just know Dad's helping, helping to do that, with the energy. Because it's just like, how do we don't want to stifle that energy, right? But it's like we have to, so he can, go to school. It's time for him to go to probably kindergarten or first grade. He needs to work with his hands. He is 5. Okay. He needs to work with his hands. He learns by putting together, by seeing it, and more visual than anything. So like listening to people talking is not going to be real good for him to see it. Like if they can give him the questions ahead of time and he can read them or something, just left to take her. Yeah. Take her to go to kindergarten, different school, not having one of the daycare friends. Yep. All of that. Yeah. And it really is too. It's just like to not harness the energy. I guess we want to harness the energy for good, but it's like, it's real hard for him to sit and listen. That's not his expertise. Okay. So dad's helping with that. Did the anxiety come from dad in the family? It feels like he had real down periods. And I think he's stepping forward saying, not that, hey, look what I gave you. Yay. It's not, but it looks like he was the family member who had the times that were low times. Sounds like that. So coming through, okay, in that instance, when they do that, as we have like generational things that we carry, like we have generational intuition, we also have generational like anxiety and stuff that we carry too. So he would come and help all of the family members who have that. And Lindy, Cindy's not coming through, but I'm pretty sure that's what he is taking. Not, he's saying that he brought it to the family, not that it's like a responsibility or anything, but he's like both sides. Okay. But he is stepping forward for his. That's what I'm getting. They wouldn't have acknowledged it, when he was growing up, but it would just be like the blues. And people just like get really quiet and just don't engage in stuff, and they would just call it the blues before. So that's how it would have come through before. But he had like a lot of periods like that where he just would stop talking, right? And at that time we didn't really know what to do for it. But Reiki, we need solar plexus Reiki. So everyone who we've talked about this with different people that have this in your family, that he's helping with that too. So not only is we're bringing energy to it by saying out loud, bringing attention to it, which is real important as well. Once we direct our energy and manifest that we will fix anxiety, that will help get us better with anxiety, and our solar plexus will be cleared, that he is also lending energy to too. So you get a double bang there, double healing. Okay, good. We have that question, and we don't know where the 90 people are.
I've been working as the show's been going on. I've been looking at the Facebook side of things. I think I'm starting to figure out what the problem is. So,
good.
Hopefully, by next time we're on the air, we can have that ironed out.
Am I on live now? Though it doesn't seem.
You're not. No. It's going to take. I think my browser. I need to be logged in as you on a separate tab. That's just how Facebook has it on this thing. So we'll get there.
We'll figure it out. And I also, like I did 2 weeks ago, is I went home and answered all the questions that were on Facebook,
which is great. So we're still getting the job done, just a little retroactively. So
Cindy with saying he loved us. Yes, definitely came out more loving it. Oh yeah, I think as always, like, a lot of times the women's, not that always, but a lot of times the woman's a nurturer, and they just like cover up shortcomings, like we didn't know my dad was out partying all the time until later.
I never partied.
With Boone's Farm.
Apple,
what's it called? Apple Farm?
Something, yeah.
Boone's Farm, Apple something.
It's still for sale. I looked it up while you were talking.
Oh, God, it's like, it's sugar. It's
nasty.
Horrible.
Yeah, it would give you like a headache times 50, I would think.
Right. Yeah.
The morning after a Boone's Farm bender can't be fun.
Okay. We also were talking about before we got him on air, that book club. So we're going to start a book club, and some of you are readers and some of you are audio, and hopefully we can book that's audio, since we are in the library.
I mean, there's that.
We can, and we're started this because of a book that we can suggest other books and other readings of things, and I'll get on that. I do have a list of when we had a different book club. Troy kept track of it, and he gave me the list. I think there's probably about 30 books that we went through in this book club, and I picked out like the first ones, and then everyone else picked out after like a year. Then everyone picked out what they needed to have, so we could have that rounded.
Yeah.
In the cemetery. Came out more loving after Mom passed. Was saying he loved us. Oh, right when he passed, he came and said he loved you. Yeah, he's here as an active member of your life right now. Definitely. So if he was more standoffish then, he's really active right now. As I said, he's with your grandson right now, and then with all of you, all of kids, grandkids who have anxiety. he's helping that out. Okay. So the book club, we have like 30 books. I brought a book in last week, and that was Sophia, I think, that was like 50 ways to trust your vibes or something. That was it's like 1 through 60 ways of improving your intuition. And that's like real easy for some people. And that's what a lot of the folks that were in the book club did ask for.
Oh, okay.
Now I started with basically just like, I started with Brenda Brown. And it was about her daring greatly. And that was the vulnerable, because this is really scary. What we had when we were, in church school and all of that kind of thing. It's like, it has to come through me. And actually, I did drop off my books to local. When I was at the volunteer center, I worked with the local churches a lot. And of the ministers that I dealt with that I knew that were open to different ways of thinking, I dropped off my book and asked them to read it and get back to me and see if they could use it to help in a group support group.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Not gonna happen this week or any other, perhaps.
Because the information didn't come through Jesus.
Oh dear.
And I'm like, well, since we're all one and we're all God, and because I say we're all energy and we're all connected. We're all connected to God, to spirit, however you want to say it. To me, that is more religious than a lot of things that are being said about religion.
Sound terribly problematic, really. I mean, that's actually kind of nice. I mean, that's
especially for grief. To realize that they're still with you. This is what we talk about. This is what we talk about a lot. A lot of folks I have obviously coming for when they're ready to develop their intuition, which is amazing, but also when they're grieving. So I would say half and half. Half my clients come for, I really want to learn more. I felt this, I heard this, I saw this. Always, and when I have my talks and stuff at the library, I talk 20 minutes and I ask everybody else for their else, because they all have stories.
Yeah.
And those folks that want to increase their intuitive, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But there's also the folks that are suffering grief, and how do you reach those people? And I thought going to church and leaving it in a church library would be a perfect place to do that if they'd like to do that. But that wasn't really well.
They had different ideas, apparently. Sure, there's that.
I thought it was brilliant, but okay. So, but not a problem, because we're still getting the folks that need to have.
Yeah.
So we're getting the people that around us that are curious and grieving, and it's for both. The book is for both, just opening up the possibilities of what can happen and what people have heard from readings.
Cool.
And now we add to it the Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's another story that I don't believe you. So a cardinal, and you just called a cardinal and you called her, and then she came, and then she came again in a half hour. So it's like can we say that now this didn't happen? Because it's the biggest thing is like, we think it's our imagination. We think that we had I think it was Marcia's friend actually from last week with her husband with the white butterflies.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's like, am I imagining this, or is this my husband? The energy of it. I have a lot of stories. My husband and I went to Sedona to get married. We had a couple practice marriages between us, and we were going to go to Sedona and do it right with the spirit.
We're calling those practice marriages now. I like that. I like that.
That's what it was.
Oh
I finally got it right. It's our 20th anniversary this week, actually. And it took me a long time to get it right. And sometimes, sometimes they're just there for sperm donors, and then that's all they can do. But
we just finalized my first practice marriage finale 2 weeks ago. So I'm
practice.
Yes. It was 21 years of practice, and we did not get it right, but we're very cheerful about it. It was a very lovely divorce, actually. I have a lot of friends who are jealous of my divorce because we're still good friends and we're co-parenting lovely, and that's
perfect.
It's a good thing.
I've seen a couple examples. I have a friend, Denise, that was an excellent co-parenter. But when the story was telling me about the signs and stuff, we went to Sedona. The thing I envisioned was not it. So we drove around Sedona, all the switchbacks, and we finally found a switchback or a place we could go. And it just happened to be an outpost. So fire stations going through the switchbacks need a place to turn around, and they called them outposts. Okay. So we were outpost number 3. in Sedona. And
for those of you looking for it right now.
Yeah, right. And it's awesome. As we climbed up this little hill of where they turn around, there's one of those Joshua trees right there, right? And it was just beautiful, red rock all around, and you could just see the red rock all around us. And I had it in the morning. I used to smoke, so in the morning I was sitting outside on the patio where we were staying. And I heard this beautiful music. It was just like this resonating. It was like sounded like Native American, but it also had more of a mind, body, spirit kind of feeling. So when I went downstairs to the desk, I said, where's the reservation around here? And they're like, what? Like the reservation that music that was playing this morning outside. And they're like, you're in Sedona. I'm like, oh, okay. So no one else heard that music. I got to hear that music. So as we found the fire outpost station number 3, we called the minister we booked online because his sign-on name was Hawk, and that was my messenger always. It was very scientific, right? So he met us out there, and he comes out, and this was 20 years ago. Yeah. So he brought a boombox. Big old boombox. And he goes, did you remember music? I'm like, no, I never thought about music, So we're sitting out here in this in the middle of no place, surrounded by red rock from very far, and he turns on the music. Same music from the morning.
No. Oh my goodness. As Ronald Reagan used to say, there you go again.
Not kidding. So yay for me for science. Awesome. For like I did 2 practices marriages before. So the third one, I'm like, I was very scared, and I love PD. I've always loved PD. And it was a validation for me that we have spirit with us. Wow. We're definitely doing the right thing. And then as we got married, we had an Apache prayer that was like, I'll shelter in the rain and stuff like that. And the rain started coming down a little bit. And then as we got married, 3 hawks came around the mountain that was closest to us, screeching like crazy. And they were going around screeching like crazy. And I felt the presence of my father, my grandfather, Pap, and my grandmother, his mother, my dad's mom. And this is my mom's dad. So I felt these 3 presences from the spirit of the hawk. And they don't usually fly around and yell at each other, do they?
No, they're usually busy hunting. I mean, they don't really
think so, because I was like,
not their style to be social and scream at each other. I don't think. No,
but you just when you feel it, so you feel it in your heart. And same thing as like the butterflies. Right? I'm telling this story because it's like this. I knew that was my father, because I said you're late when he did it, almost because I had been calling him all along. He was the one he had passed before I got married. Yeah. And I'm like, you have to tell me that I'm doing the right thing finally, because I'm not, God, I really screwed up, So it was important for them to be there. The witness we had, who's a smart ass, and she, every time I saw her for the next 10 years, she would look at a bird. Who's that? Who's that? So I'm like, oh, you brat. So people who doubt you, right? Yes. And we doubt ourselves of trusting our intuition, much less people like this of doubting us, of just like saying stuff like that. It just like you have that, and we don't take that energy anymore. We're just like, that was just really not nice. She's probably on here. Hi. She was on my Facebook page, so hopefully she found the other one. Right. But she knows she did that, because she would go, who's that? I'm like, hey. But it was beautiful, but it was also like you take it, you believe it. Yeah. I prayed for it. I sent energy for this. I really need the validation from my dad. I really needed to have spirit there. The music from the morning, the music at night, all of that led to this beautiful ceremony for me and solidified that I was doing the right thing. Yeah. Because it was like, I screwed up. I screwed up.
Practice
marriage. That's what it was.
Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Yeah. Wow. Well, wonderful show today. And you are, Brenda, you are like a radio producer's dream. Because you have so many wonderful stories, and they all translate so well over audio and visual. And so we're all very grateful that you're here on Tuesdays for us. We'll get the Facebook thing figured out. Yay. I swear.
I'll answer if anyone is on and can't get us. I will answer everything after the fact. I have a 2:00 today, but I'll answer all the rest of the questions like I did last week.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that you are, because I don't see you on my Facebook.
No, but what we can do, actually, we can post this after the fact. I'll give you, I can shoot you the link through email, and then you can post today's show, and then people can watch it later and then post. So a lot of options.
I also want to really thank Lisa and Cindy.
Yeah.
Yay. We have 2. And Marsha.
Marsha's up there somewhere.
Marsha.
There you go.
And Ann.
Ann just popped in. There we go.
Yay. And Ann was in the class again this weekend for our intuitive class or our Reiki energy class, and she was awesome. The Hawks, they were awesome.
And Ann's coming through over Facebook, which is
so are you on my Facebook yet?
I don't know.
Maybe it's working.
See. Well, I don't know. It's
because seriously, we had 90 people talking last week.
That's so crazy. I mean, I want all them here now. We have to work on that. We'll get there. Like I said, I think it's a browser issue and a Facebook issue, and we'll.
Ann, are you on my Facebook? Or are you on the Cedarburg Public Library
Facebook? But she didn't say if she's on yours or mine.
Do you know which ones?
Ours, yeah. So
Cindy, always a pleasure. You too, sunshine.
Maybe I can link up here. Hang on, let me see. Nope, I can't do that.
Okay.
Library. She's done the library one. So
okay, so the library's working.
All right,
got it.
So we'll get there. Like I said, I just got to get the ratchet set out and the hammers, and we'll make it happen.
Just hit it. Also, just send intention to electronics, since I'm in the room and electronics are not my gig. But it's like, we definitely know that we deliver this message, deliver more people. This is the way to do it. Yeah. And when Jeff came up with it, I'm like, sure, let's have a radio show. What the hell?
That's what I usually get.
I've never done that.
I will stop people in the streets and say, you need a radio show.
Right. And he's like, as I'm walking out of the room from an interview, he goes, you want to have one? Sure. What do you want to do? I don't know. Good.
Usually when I ask, they hem and haw and rub their hands together a little more, where Brenda was just like, yes, let's do that.
Well, the book, it was written to deliver the message. Yeah. So, and the whole thing with marvelous mystical messages, it's like, expect those. So I should have that at the last part of the book. I thought of that coming over here. I'm like, I should have that. Like when I always talk about sermons in churches and stuff, I always like, why don't you ever ask, what do you think after that? It's like, what do you think this means after that? Because let's open up the possibilities, right? Same thing with marvelous mystical messages. What are you going to wish for? What messages are you want? I mean, that you can have them too. You can have the marvelous mystical messages and believe it and take it to heart. So that's what it was written for. And for to talk about it more on the radio, live on the radio, because we're Facebook Live and radio.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, we have a separate radio audio stream, and I don't do that here. I figured let's add the video element, and we get more reaction. And
do you get questions on the radio then too?
No, we haven't. I'm doing just strictly live streaming video at this point, because all I've gotten, I as an old school radio guy, it's hard for me to admit, but I get more action with this streaming stuff than I do with the radio. The radio stuff is like me clinging to the 70s. I'm like, come on, everybody.
Like, come on, radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Got it. Ann mentions I've been practicing auras, and my index fingers lift up on its own. It's wild.
So I had a reading about 2 weeks ago that she had a great reading, and then she's like, we were talking about the different classes I'm going to have, and she goes, I want to learn auras. I'm like, sit down, we'll give it to you right away. So I told the class that we did that during the class, how easy it is to see an aura. It's very easy to see an aura, especially like you do it around your hand, in your own hand. But then when you do that, you keep developing it and you keep using it and keep practicing, then you see around people. Then you know the color on people, what that means too. You can tell if they're sad, happy, glad, mad, anything, you can tell, and just by the density of the color. So this is the first way of seeing it. And it's cool for people who haven't seen before. So we can teach people to do that very, very, very quickly.
All right, Brenda, where am I at today? What's going on with me?
You want your aura to pop out? See, sure. I don't look for it anymore. Because I went from seeing and hearing to feeling. So as I knew I was going to go that next step, when I knew that they were upgrading me, I'm like, no, but it was so cool is that I would see like all of your guides walk behind you. And sometimes I'd have to lean over and go, is that real? Is that a real person?
Yeah.
Is that, and oh no, that's not real. Okay. So I mean, you're not live on the planet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And know that was a spirit. So then I tell people who their spirit guides were. So that was always something I did as well. But now it's more feeling. So now I feel. I unfortunately, sometimes it's bad. I was near a person this weekend that I don't think on the high on his hit list. And he was just like, all of this angst was coming at me. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Oh boy.
I'm like, and then pour honey, because
Yeah.
you pour honey. Why are you so angry about something you can't fix or whatever? And I'm going to be me, and I'm not going to change for you. So have a good life.
Yes. Well, that's the real trick, isn't it? Figuring all that out. And
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, folks,
okay,
that is a show, and we are going to wrap it up for the day. And I knew initially when we started this thing that it would be like from 12 to 12:30, and I'm like, nah, Brenda's too good. We're gonna get. Well, I always intended this to be an hour long, and I think we're gonna start punching that 1 o'clock thing. So going forward, expect us to probably bleed into the next half hour with no problem. Thank you, Anne.
I was thinking of an hour too, and Sydney wants to know how to do this. So what you do is you take a piece of paper.
Oh, sure.
Take a white piece of paper and just put it on the table. And then you put your hand on top of the white piece of paper. So it's not on top of it, but raise a little bit. And then you concentrate your eyes on the exact corner of your finger. So you're letting your eyes, so all you do is like staring at this. You just stare at it and you just keep staring at it. Let your eyes go out of focus. It feels like you're micro cross-eyed. Just let that happen. Let that eyes go out of focus. And you just keep, and on the white paper is the easiest way to see it because it'll pop out first of like white light, like you have a white highlighter all around, or you're emanating light all the way around you because we're all made of energy. So we all emanate this energy always. So when I sit and sit outside and meditate, I see all of the energy around the trees, on the rocks. We're all made of energy and we all have that energy field. So that's what you first can do. So it's just letting it go, looking really, really tight, stare until you go off site. You will see that. And if you can't do it now, do it later and just practice and get back to me next week because we did teach everyone at the class and it took like Anne and Marsha are still here, like 5 minutes. And it's cool. Now you can see. This is the sight thing that everyone has. It's always in the back of our mind that we actually have always seen this, but we just didn't acknowledge it or know or take the time to know. That's what the whole thing is. It's like when we finally look up, when we finally give energy to it, we see it all and we feel it all. So it's just taking that time to do it, especially like letting your eyes go out of focus. That's really weird. All right, guys.
There it is. I used to have struggles with that at shopping malls, and they had those pictures you could try to see pictures in. I was like, I can't see it.
the colorblind thing.
Yep. Oh well.
Kind of like that. But just keep staring at it. You will see that light pop off, like the light, like holy shit, there's light on my fingers. Yep.
All right, everybody, you got your assignments.
Right.
Go work on that. I'll do the same. We'll reconvene soon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Love you.
We will talk to you again. Promise. Tuesdays. Take care. Bye-bye.